All right, guys, I'm back with another video that I wanted to share with you guys about a dream that I had the other night. And again, it's not necessarily that it's some big, profound dream. It wasn't a scary dream. It wasn't necessarily a bad dream or anything like that. But it's just something that I felt that I would like to share. And maybe it can help some of you guys out with maybe what's currently going on in the world or maybe your current situation. But to give a little backstory into that, when I was younger, or actually in this dream, I was young again. Not that I feel like I'm an old man now, but I was probably about 17, 18 in this dream. And in real life, when I was 17 or 18, of course, coming up in high school, I used to play sports. And sometimes we would spend the night, depending on what we were doing, more so with track than football, but we would spend the night at a hotel. And that's basically what this situation was again. I was again a young man, 17 or 18, and we were again staying at a hotel. Now, whatever the situation was that brought me to the hotel, I was there with some other friends, other teammates. We were there staying, but that wasn't really the focus of the dream. I mean, that was just like a outlier as to why we were there, but there were many other parts moving and going on that had nothing really to do with that. But again, that's the reason we were at the hotel. And I just want to say again, this hotel was like a nice palatial hotel. I mean, it was decked out. I mean, it was huge, it was big, nothing like what we used to stay at, back in high school, a rundown kind of motel. This was like a palace, a palatial hotel, a nice big grand entrance, a grand big lobby, foyer. But that's just a little insight or backstory into that. But going on, again, like I said, I found myself as a young man, and that's the reason we were there. So we were there, and I guess it was like daytime. Daytime, maybe going into evening time. And again, there were some of my former teammates there, some of my former friends maybe throughout life, other people that I don't even know that was considered my teammates or friends, and various other people in the dream that I've never seen before or, have no recollection of. So as the day unfolded, whatever, again, the event what we were going to be doing, I guess was going to be the following day. But again, that had no bearing on this particular dream. So I'm there in the dream, again, as a young man. So I just felt that was real interesting because, that's been several years ago that I was 17 or 18. But nonetheless, I was there as a young man. And, I was talking to different people. Different people that I know. And, we were laughing and joking, and having a good time. And then it seemed like, I was making plans with those people, like I said, it was maybe midday going into the evening, and we were making plans for maybe later on that night, or that evening. So I would see a particular person, and I would, we would talk, and we would say, hey, yeah, we're going to get together later, maybe around 9 o'clock at night or whatever. We're going to do this. I'll come by and see you at your room, or we're going to meet down here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Then I'd move on to the next person. And then it would be like, okay, sort of the same thing. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Oh, we're going to actually leave the hotel. We're going to go here. We're going to go there. And then there was, varying scenes throughout the hotel. So you were talking to some people maybe in the lobby. Then it was maybe like lunch or dinner time, and you kind of had like a buffet style type thing going on. You were talking and, having fun, interacting with people there. Then it would switch to maybe someone's hotel room or to the hallway of the hotel, and I was having all these different conversations with people. But the main thing that stuck out to me from that was that they were making plans with me, I was making plans with them. Then there would be like total strangers that you would just happen to be walking in the lobby, and then you see them, you start talking, and they're like, oh, where are you going? And then you're like, oh, where are you going? And then they would maybe have something else to do, but then you would say, okay, well, I'll meet you maybe later at 11 o'clock and we can continue this conversation, hang out, have fun. So it was very weird, just to be back in that state, to be back young again in the dream and making all these plans for whatever reason that we're going to hang out. We may go out to eat, we may hang out in the lobby, we may go dancing at this particular club or whatever it may be. I don't know, but it was kind of weird, at least in that moment, to feel young again, in that setting. But then again, like I said, there was also people that I never knew before that I would come into contact with and that we would talk as well. So to make this, again, long story short, one particular individual that I was talking to, and again, in this dream, I was young, so I wasn't married. I didn't have any children. I was, a young man myself. and I did, meet an attractive woman, around my same age, 17, 18, 19, something like that. And I was in the main lobby, the main foyer. Again, this is after I had already talked to several different people making the plans, and I never knew this person before, but we kind of like caught eyes. And again, she was kind of attractive. I felt she felt maybe the same way about me, so we started talking. But the main thing of that was, as we were talking, maybe I was asking her what she's doing at the hotel, what her plans are for the evening. And keep in mind, this has been going on for like hours for some reason. I don't know why, but I've been making plans with different people. They've been making plans with me for hours at this hotel since we arrived. And I'm kind of not really keeping track of time, but I do know that it's kind of been some time that's passed. So the weird thing was that as we were talking and, catching eyes and kind of, being interested in one another as far as conversation and just someone that you meet, I was kind of like in the lobby, and this person was like coming down the stairs or coming down from another direction, and that's where we first met, and we started talking. But the crazy thing about it was she was talking to me like in a circle. It was kind of like I was standing still, but yet she was walking around in like a big circle as we had our conversation. And that went on for, several minutes. And then finally, I think she told me like, oh, I'm heading out to wherever she was going. And then I was like, okay, well, then we made plans to meet up again later that evening. But again, keep in mind, I've already had made plans with all these other folks as well. So I kind of like walked with her after the circle part, and she was going out maybe the main entrance. And then this is where I can get my first reference, I guess, of real time, because it wasn't quite dark. It was getting that way. So kind of like dusk. It was like in between dusk and dark. The sun was, the sun was going down. Not quite hadn't set yet, but it was going down. So then that person departed, and then, I'd already made plans to meet up with her later. So then fast forward to where I'm back upstairs in maybe my room, in my hallway of my room, talking to other people, this and that. And I forgot to throw this in. Anytime like in sports like that, we usually had like a curfew, of course, whatever the time would be. That's when you had to be, locked down in your room, kind of settled down for the night. Of course, you couldn't go out or leave or anything like that. And you maybe had a couple of coaches or, chaperones or something like that. But anyway, we were there, and it's just like time sped up so fast. It had already sped up so fast from like when we first got there, up until the point where I met the lady or the young lady, and then it was already about to get dark. So from the time from there up to the time I was back in my room or the hallway talking to other folks, whatever time the curfew was, it was literally like an hour away. And I had made long story short, is like I had made all these plans. People had made all these plans with me. But the bottom line of the story was there wasn't going to be enough time to do any of those things. With my friends, my teammates, my buddies, people that I didn't even know. It was like, wow, the curfew was just like, I remember that distinctly. It was just like in an hour that we had to be back. And again, that didn't have any bearing or any specifics on what we were going to be doing the next day, but it was just like all the plans that I'd made or all the plans that people had made with me or whatever the case may be. We only had like an hour left. And I just remember waking up from that dream. That's pretty much how it ended. But again, I just thought it was very interesting to go back into time, into a setting, into a place, but a little bit different as a young man, making all these plans. And again, nothing bad happened in the dream. It wasn't a scary dream, but the takeaway I took from the dream, and it was so weird too, again, when I thought back about it with the young lady that I met, because she was actually walking around. I didn't realize that at the time, in the moment of the dream, but after I had awakened out of the dream, that was kind of just like a clock, the way she was moving around. And it was just so weird. It hit me that, after the fact. But so nonetheless, nothing got accomplished. None of those plans were fulfilled. We weren't able to hang out. Again, there weren't any bad plans or anything like that. Nothing, again, bad happened in the dream. Only to say that none of those things were going to happen because we had ran out of time. And that's what I take away from this dream, guys. Whatever that we need to do in this current state of 2022 with our lives, whether that's spiritual, whether that's prepping, whether that's you starting your own business, whether that's you finishing a degree, finishing something that you started, whatever it may be, time is running out. So we need to do those things right now, or we may not have time. Now, again, in big picture, this may not affect you at all. You may just think, okay, what's this guy talking about, about his dream? What's he babbling on and on about this for? But to me, it was intentional. And I believe that 100%. This dream was intentional to at least let me know that time is running out. Time is running short. Now, again, nothing bad happened in the dream. It wasn't like some big doom and gloom. But whatever it was that I feel like that I needed to do, or that I needed to finish, or something that I needed to start and see to completion, whatever it may be, now is the time. Time is of the essence. So, guys, that's my takeaway from the dream. Maybe you can take that away from it as well. But I do believe, again, time is running out. So whatever it is that you need to do, we need to do these things now. But I appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Appreciate all the support for those of you that watch my videos and comment on the channel. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, continue to stock up, continue to prepare, and as always, be blessed.